Okay, so my first video on the Raspberry Pi 500 Plus, I tried several different operating systems and multi-booting, and it went very well. I thought I'd try some other operating systems on here. So if I press Windows and D, let's just show this is Windows 11, and it's working fine. It's the same version as I had in this video. So we just go to YouTube, just to show that it's working. The internet's working, but through a USB Ethernet device. So if I go to my channel, can't remember when the last time was that I did Windows. Here it is. So this is about the D variant. So this video, the yellow one, was showing that there was a small update to Windows 11 on Raspberry Pi that supported the newer 16 gig Raspberry Pi, which means that the 500 Plus is also supported because that uses the same processor. And as you can see, it's working absolutely fine. I'm just running a load of updates, just installed Steam, so I need to log into that. And Windows needs quite a few updates, so I'll let that happen. And we'll try some other operating systems as well later. So the UEFI boot is running from the SD card, so that's the initial bit, a bit like the BIOS. And then the operating system is running from my NVMe drive. So you can see I put my 240 gig Patriot drive in there. So while it's still updating, have I done anything to start up apps? So if we click on here, yeah, I've turned them all off. I'm also going to turn off Steam because that slows down the system. If you're not playing games, it's not worth having it to launch. Yeah, everything else is turned off. And so did I do performance on this? So adjust the appearance for better performance. So I'm still on let Windows choose what's best for my computer. Actually, it feels alright. Normally what I do is do adjust for best performance, but it does make the images look worse on screen. So I think I'm going to go with it as it is because we've got 16 gig of RAM now. In fact, let's test that. So if we do about, so Raspberry Pi 500, I want to put a plus there, 16 gig of RAM, 2.4 gigahertz, and at the moment we're running Windows 11 Pro 24H2, but we are updating. So I'm going to let all that happen and restart because we could get some updates with compatibility with ARM and Windows games, and we could get some performance boosts as well because it was a while since I last tried it. Okay, so it's done the updates and it's restarted with this message. So let's explore what's new. Smartphone's camera is your PC webcam. Oh yeah, so Apple do this on the Mac. That's quite a nice feature. So then I've got link to Windows and I'm going to install that. Okay, so it's taken ages to get to this point, but my Pixel 8 is now connected. So if I launch the camera app, you'll see it uses the Pixel 8 as the default camera. So tap to start camera, I get a notification, and yeah, if I show my lovely cats and my Game Boy deconstructed, you can see that the camera's working absolutely fine. As I move it around, the refresh rate's not too bad. Seems to be working alright. Happy with that. And it even tells me the percentage of the battery. The other one I was interested in was the image bit. Yeah, make unwanted images in your photos disappear. Try now. So it's going to open photos. So I haven't got any photos yet, so I'll just get something from the web browser. So let's go with this image of Berlin and let's open that up. Okay, so edit. Oh, this isn't good. What would possibly be wrong with hitting edit? So I've got my photo, I tap on edit, and I get a black screen. Okay, we'll go with this one and we'll do edit. Okay, brilliant. See what Copilot does with it. So if we say delete, I'm going to say the man with the yellow coat because he's out the way. Coat. Removing yellow coat mystery. Oh, and it's actually slowly doing this. I can see it revealing the picture. Sorry, I couldn't generate that image. Please try again. The man in the yellow coat's been removed from the image. Let me know if you like any other edits or enhancements. He's still there. Where is it though? Edit in page? Yeah, it's not the best AI experience. Maybe it's because it's some stock image. I don't know. Anyway, let's get rid of all that and see if the performance has got better on games. And let's try a bit of Flat Out 2, which I did have some quite good performance. Oh, you've got to download it. Stream from Nookbox. So it's detected my PC in the lounge. That's cool. Right, so I'll install Half-Life 2. But the issue is that we can't drop the desktop resolution, which would help massively. So we have to run at 1920 by 1080 with this version of Windows. I did use a DisplayLink adapter, which would be like a virtual driver, and it would let me change the resolution in a separate video. But we still haven't got GPU support, so it's not great. But let's give Half-Life 2 a try anyway. And I spent way too long trying to get this to work. The way I've managed it is to get it to cut it down to 640 by 480 and then windowed and software mode. Seems to be the best configuration I can get on this. Nowhere near as good as in my SteamOS video where I'm using Wine with Linux, which just works way better, but we'll show it. Because you can't change the desktop resolution on this. It's stuck at 1920 by 1080 and it really impacts gameplay. So you can see the frame rate isn't good, even at 640 by 480. So I don't think Windows has had any improvements with those updates. It's pretty much the same as it was before on a Pi 5. What can I pick up here? This one? Yeah. Oh. So let's quit out of that. And we'll try the SteamOS build of Linux that I built on top of Twister OS. So let's shut this down. And I'm booting this from an NVMe drive, but via USB. So let's switch on and press and hold the spacebar. So let's go for 4 for USB. That's what we want to see. So let's jump in to the same point. And if you want to know more about running this SteamOS in Twister, then I've got 2 videos on it. One of them's a setup video. So now, as we run around, we have a much better frame rate. So we grab, oh, wrong button. If we grab this. So what else can we get running on the Pi 500 Plus? Oh, what's she seen? So let's see what else we can try. Pyomega is a very good fit for Raspberry Pi 500 Plus because it's the same sort of form factor as a lot of the Amiga computers were back in the day. And I've got several videos on Pyomega, but let's just show a little bit of a game running just to show that it's all working. So if I go for Cannon Fodder, let's launch that. And just to show that it's all working. Games from back in the day, and there's so much on here, demos, other games for other systems, and audio demos and things like that, music. Definitely worth a look. And last up we've got FidoOS, which is basically based on Chrome OS, the same operating system you use on a Chromebook, but this supports both Linux and Android apps as well. So if I go down to the bottom here, you can see we've got our normal apps. We've got an app launcher here, and this comes with a full desktop browser. So this is Chromium. If we go full screen and just show you that the web browser is nice and responsive, because Chrome OS is a really light operating system, as is Linux. But we can have a desktop browser, an Android game, and also we can launch Linux as well. So we look for the terminal, we can launch that, and then do all the usual things we would do with Linux. Sudo apt install xmoto. So this will now install a Linux game. And because you have file access as well, So all your folders, and you can move between Android and Linux and Chrome OS. And actually I couldn't get the first version to work. So if we go to the FidoOS website and go to downloads, and for SBC, you can see Pi 400, Pi 4's listed. I've already done a video of it running on Pi 500, but it's only listed for Pi 5 here for the version that's version 20, the latest version. There's some downloads on this post, FidoOS SP1 preview for Pi 5 and 500. Well, I can confirm that it works on the 500 Plus as well, but not the latest version. So that still doesn't seem to support the D variant Pi, so the 16 gig Pi 5, Pi 500, Pi 500 Plus, and any newer Pi 5s. And when you install a Linux game, it actually shows up here. So this is Xmoto, so it's a Linux game, but it just shows up as a clickable shortcut. And we pick a level, you can see that this is working. So we've got a Linux game running, we've got an Android game running at the same time, and we also have the browser. And that really helps because we've got 16 gig of RAM now, so RAM usage will be great on this. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Oh, I've overcooked that. Please like and subscribe.